Namaskar. Good morning, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professionals, listeners and learners. Dear friends, all of you are watching, listening YouTube 3M Creator. It's really nice. It's really nice time, nice place, nice section. You are listening language to literature, science to spirituality. Dear friends, today in this modern world, our all sectors of agriculture, industry, communication, transportation, banking, hospital, railways, post office have become digitalized. In this digital world, how we can understand the miracles of spirituality? Undoubtedly, we feel numberless, uncounted gifts, graces, and blessings of Lord or God everywhere. So I appreciate, admire, praise your presence today. All the free thinkers, freedom fighters, astronomers, astrologers, those who came in this world for the welfare of our society and nation, I salute them. Every youngster today in this modern time should bring new thoughts and ideas by spending his maximum time by doing yoga, pranayam, and meditation. These are very necessary, which is the most traditional cultural identity of our nation. Friends, you see that our forefathers, foretellers, forecasters, farmers, those who came in the form of starters, beginners, initiators, they spent their maximum time with nature. As it is said in all our holy religions of Holy Land, that human body is made by five elements: air, fire, soil, sky, and water. These five elements are the creators, developers, originators, and creators. But if we will not justify, we will not be friendly and familiar with these five elements, then these five elements play the role of destruction, devastation, calamities. Oceanic change we feel, we see in the nature or atmosphere. It's due to imbalance, it's due to interference of the human beings in the nature. It's the man's nature that God made us to be peaceful, to be prosperous, and to think better, nicer, finer for others selflessly. It is the lifestyle that God originated for the human beings. Dear friends, in all our holy religions, in all the holy scriptures of our holy land, our all starters of the religions, they explained, described, defined that nature is a common concept among all the thoughts, teachings, ideas of all the worldly religions. So it's the journey to bring change in the fortune of our nation. How revolutionary and visionary change we can bring if we will change our idea, our thought, which is the first step that our scholars read for learning any new language. It is very necessary that first step, intention to do action. What is in our intention? What do we intend? What do we think? It's internal action of the mind, but it matters for learning, for starting the learning of any new language of the world. Dear friends, earlier there was the British language that was spread out by the Britishers for their personal and professional motives. But today, everyone is free to learn independency of the language by the freedom of the thoughts and ideas. We read this thing after 1990. American language became very popular. It is very common today in all kind of parts of the government. We see, we listen. There are numberless words, thoughts, ideas are used from the American language while reading, writing, speaking, listening of English. Actually, every language has its own identity according to their country or nation. As Indian mother tongue is Hindi. Hindi is our mother tongue. Likely that every country, every nation has its own identity in the form of language on the basis of its particularities and specialities. We can understand it by reading their food, culture, clothing, and their different external elements express their identity of their language. We can easily understand these things. But time and again, we are to turn towards the originalities. Dear friends, as you have read that Swami Vivekananda, who expressed, appealed, and addressed to the worldly people in 1893 by saying that, my brothers and sisters of the America, these were the cultural identities of our nation that Swamiji addressed to the worldly people for bringing purity, clarity, chastity, sanctity in the thought and ideas of our youngsters. Dear friends, at one place he expressed that return to the Vedas. He expressed the value of returning im, in, and dish. These are the prefix words that used to create new words of the thoughts. But it matters totally opposite to the root meaning of the word. So our mind is the factory of words. Our mind is the industry of thoughts and ideas that God has gifted us. Everyone is gifted by this spiritual talent. So, how our Indian youngsters learn science from spirituality and how this spirituality generated science. Its origin is spirituality, no doubt. Today we read different type of subjects in school, colleges, and universities. But originally, we know this thing that there was the lesson of nature that was taught by our forefathers for telling us the truth of education. Today, it is equally important whether we have brought many advancements in science by digitalizing world. We are observing, examining, evaluating such thing on social media that we have become the fast user of the modern technologies. Its speed and scale is really praiseworthy, admirable, and appreciable. But we should not forget our past, we should not forget our nature. Nature makes us able to feel holiness. Our holy motherland makes us to be nationalistic, patriotistic for our responsibilities, for our rights. How we can enjoy our rights without duties? It is equally important, and it is said in all the holy religions from the beginning that there is the unity in diversity. Unity in diversity is the basic principle or doctrine of all the languages and all the subjects. As our scholars of English literature read that Francis Bacon, who explained in his essays, why do we learn history? Because history makes us wise, it gives us wisdom. Why do we read mathematics? Because it makes our memory sharp. It increases our memory power. Why do we read law? Because it makes us witty. So numberless advantages, merits we read of the different subjects, especially school subjects. But dear friends, different games also help us in improving our different type of deficiencies related to our mind and body or in even our soul. But especially for the spiritual purgation, for the spiritual enhancement, it is very necessary to repeat the holy words of the holy religions that are based upon the sound. And if we repeat them, then this sound makes us able to unite our soul with the super spiritual power of God. So, for that, it is very necessary to have the complete, perfect knowledge of the words, for getting the complete information from our text that we read in the literature, in our daily newspaper. And if we are scholar, then we must adopt this righteous path for the welfare of our society and nation, by which we can count numberless blessings, miracles, musics in the form of majestic actions of the Lord or God. So, dear friends, once again I thank all of you in the presence of our present Prime Minister Modi ji, respected ministers and doctors, honorable advocates, advertisers, administrative advisors, Reverend fathers and mothers, affectionate sons and daughters. I, Dr. Ahesh from USA, heartily cordially welcome all of you. Thank you. Nice to see all of you. Nice to watch you. Dhanyawad.